Hey everyone, today we are doing a recorded coaching session, and I'm here with a person and who is about to be turned into an animal.
I
But
am a person who is an
yes,
animal.
not generated avatar. But basically, a quick intro from my perspective. This person is in the world, online entrepreneurship space, and has had some success, basically a quick uplift due to the algorithmic influence, and then after that, I'll let you explain what brings you in here today, more specifically than with what we cursorily just went over like 1 minute ago.
For sure. My presenting challenge at this time is a persistent thought that everything's going to go away overnight somehow. And I know that this is not a realistic thought. I know that this is not impossible, but highly, highly improbable. I would like to not feel the energy leak that happens when I realize that I'm having this thought, and I've had various success and failure with choosing a different thought.
Okay, so I think this reveals to me a few things. So losing what you have. So I'm assuming what you have right now is a lot of customers and clientele. Is that what you're like when you think of losing, what are you afraid of losing?
Great question. I have Last year was my first year in business entirely self supported. Prior to last year, I had been taking freelance work that supplemented my income, and all of that was based on previous contacts from industries that I'd worked in the past. So this year is my second year of self supported or wholly full time in my business with no other income. And it feels precarious, partially because, of course, entrepreneurship is precarious. But I also know that there's like a, a habit of me looking for where the next paycheck is going to come from. And that's not a relevant concern for me at this time because I'm on contract work that's, you know, taking me through at least the end of the year.
Okay. But basically, what we're afraid of losing is like those contracts, and more importantly, I think self-sustenance, the ability to kind of like carry yourself by the business itself, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Like maybe this year was a fluke and all of last year was also a fluke is the thought that comes up.
Okay. And what I like about your breakdown is that you understand that this thought by itself, like when it is tested against reality, it doesn't stand. So, is it a possibility? Yes, sure. Is it an impossibility? No, I mean, it could happen. At the same time, is it probable that everything is basically going to be swept under the rug like tomorrow? Not really, right? But it tells me that you have reason to do this. But before we get into the motivation of the thought, you mentioned energy leak. So, can you describe what that leaking experience is?
Yes, it occurs to me in the moment as stress. Like I need to hurry and do uh, building a workshop that I'm offering, or I need to work very hard on my client back end documentation and recommendations and stuff. In other words, I find myself over efforting for something that I've already determined is wonderful work and I could put it down. And I just keep picking it up as if to cling to some certainty that I can't seem to find elsewhere.
Mm, mm, okay. And what are you gonna do with the excess energy you have by saving yourself from these thoughts?
This is a really good question. I don't know. This is really delightful and and horrifying. I'm realizing as you ask this question, as I hold this question in my hands, I'm like, oh, well, I don't know what I would do with it, so I better just go back to my office and do work. Shit! Okay, so what would I do with this excess of energy? Well, oh, this is delightful. I see myself as a resourceful person. I self-identify as an efficient person, sometimes to my own detriment. And if I don't know what I'm going to do with a particular resource, I don't want it. Damn. Oh. I feel very uncomfortable right now. This is great.
Yeah. So to ease the uncomfortableness, so there's something I say to my clients, and this often gets taken the wrong way, and this often gets, people upset. But I'm gonna give it to you first and then kind of explain my thought process behind it, right? When we get ourselves into a pickle, it's mostly because we want to be in the pickle. So this doesn't make any sense, right? Like, and also why this thought is it sounds so dangerous is it sounds like victim blaming, right? It
Mm,
sounds like, well, you're in that situation because you want to be in that situation. And there are circumstances in life where that's very inappropriate to say, right?
for
Okay.
sure.
But in the realm of how I think about problems, the very important distinction is cognitive rational thought versus unconscious heart-driven experiences. So we have to be able to clearly distinguish between the two. But why I was very happy that you had done the cognitive work of putting your thought and placing it next to reality and cross-comparing it, why I was so happy to hear that is because you know this tells me you know how to engage with the cognitive part of your brain. You know how to engage with what's visible, tangible, observable, and cross-referenceable, and so on and so forth. Now, we all know smoking is bad. A lot of smokers want to quit. Smokers know how to quit. All you have to do is not smoke. But regardless of what they know, what do they end up doing? They keep ending up smoking. So I keep telling you, ah, I really want to quit, but it's just so hard. And I come to you next day. I tried again, but oh man, it's just so hard. Okay, and I come to you next week and like, I give it a try for like 3 days, but it's so hard. Okay, does this tell me, do I want to quit or do I not want to quit?
No, do not want to quit.
Yes. So cognitively, I see that there might be a point to quitting cognitively, but I don't. Actually, underneath me, I don't. Right? For whatever reason. But now let's contextualize it to your case. You know 100% the chances of number one, all of your clients canceling, and that coinciding with all of your contracts canceling right tomorrow, and these two highly improbable events also coinciding with all of your accounts being canceled. So you know that this is a statistical wonder. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's a statistical wonder. You know spending so much time thinking about this is a waste. But you keep doing it. So instead of trying to approach it from the, well, you want it, that kind of a voice to this, we examine this from like, what part of me is benefiting because of this situation? Like, why am I benefiting from this situation enough? Yes, the experience sucks, but it's good enough to satisfy something inside of me.
Something I'm realizing as you're talking is that very question, the answer to that very question, and I wonder what's under it, maybe something different. So here's what was going on as I was observing you enacting the smoking allegory was I could see myself reaching again and again for something that is my habit. Because reaching for a habituated thing is less cognitive load than wondering what else I should reach for, evaluating those options, making a decision, and following through on it. So, when presented with the option of free time or available attention, I put I sort of offload the cognitive burden or the executive functioning burden, I guess, choice making burden to something that in the past has been worthwhile. So, kind of running that, to use a metaphor, I'm using an old road, even though it's not where I necessarily want to go. It is a familiar road, and I know how to navigate this road. And something in me that's not very future oriented is like, aha, I'm going to drive this familiar road because it is familiar. So perhaps what I want is familiarity.
Mm-hmm.
And this seems to be at odds with my my conscious desire for something different, something more spacious, something that I like better than what I have experienced in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And that reveals a very, 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 important, deeper understanding of what I call the smoker's dilemma, right? So, why do smokers continue to want to smoke? These reasons are deeply personal. Some people never were allowed time for themselves.
Mm.
But what does smoking conveniently give you? Time for yourself. And a lot of people were never prescribed a relief to make themselves feel better. Like, for example, they grew up in a household that was very strictly controlling of like sweets, and oh, you can't have that, it's too fatty, and basically they had no autonomy over what they wanted to put in their body. But what does smoking conveniently give you? That. So basically, when we just look at the surface, none of the behaviors really make sense. But when we understand the human being underneath, everything makes sense, right? Oh, of course you want that. Okay, so just by understanding that you want familiarity already indicates in the past there were difficulties around uncertainty.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
that's why you unconsciously disfavor uncertainty. This is why you unconsciously favor certainty, in other words, familiarity, right?
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
But, you know, some things in life are indeed binary. There is no quitting smoking while smoking.
Yes.
You quit smoking, you just don't smoke. So that, some things in life are truly binary. But let's think about this. If a smoker takes a 2-year break from smoking and then picks up smoking again, did they quit?
For 2 years, they quit? But I don't know.
Let's consider an alternative option. A person who never smoked tried to pick up social smoking for 2 years and then realized this isn't really fun and then just kind of phased out of it. Did they become a smoker?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so what I'm trying to get at is a person who's never smoked, never proudly announced, I've been quitting all my life, right? But if a smoker is, I haven't smoked in 5 years, that this 5 years is in the phase of quitting. Why? Because they're still self-identifying themselves as a smoker, right? But again, a person who's never smoked doesn't go around saying, I've been quitting all my life. Because this is a ridiculous premise to have to a person who doesn't smoke. So, internally, you see yourself as a person who is still affected by uncertainty.
True.
And that's why this period of certainty matters. Why? Because it's like if this crumbles, you relapse into the state that you still identify as. So this means there's a part of you and that it's an identity thing, right? But that identity is very nuanced because some threads of that identity is going to be around childhood. Some threads of that identity is going to be inside adulthood. Some threads of it will have come purely by coincidence. So now the job is to try and understand those threads a little bit more, right? But before we jump into that, why I was mentioning some things are binary but some things aren't is this. As a human, right? We have free will. We can think whatever we want, right? And you know what? We can also do whatever we want. It's just that we might have different consequences for whatever we do, right? So I'm allowed to have steak. It's just that I'm going to feel really bad because I'm a vegetarian, right? I'm allowed to go out and harm other people. It's just that I'll go to jail. Right? Like, I do have that. It's not like I'm prevented, like the laws of the universe is going to stop me from exercising my free will. It's just that I'm going to meet the consequences for whatever I do, right? Okay. So, you're allowed to feel bad.
It's true.
Right? The goal is not to never feel bad, right? The ultimate goal of Buddhism is not karma maxing. We are able to feel these things, we are able to think these things while also navigating towards the life that we want. But many people consider life design, intentional self-development, as a binary choice. No, I can't have these thoughts anymore. Otherwise, like, I can't. No, you totally can. You can have these thoughts because you're allowed to think them. It's okay. It doesn't mean anything bad about you. And then you work on how to hold it while navigating towards the direction you want to go in. Okay, so I've done a lot of talking, but now let's talk about the threads of uncertainty, right? So, what parts of uncertainty do you really dread? There's a part of it that you really disfavor, right?
Yes. I don't like feeling like I don't know what to do. I don't like feeling undirected. And I don't like feeling useless. And these to me are forms of uncertainty because, for example, when I'm in the kitchen, I know what I'm doing. There's only so much that my refrigerator can hold, and so I know what I'm working with. It's finite and that therefore certain. I know that I'm good at cooking, and when I make a big batch, I know my neighbors and I know I can share it. So this is also certain. I have some certainty with respect to that my effort will be of service, and it might be just to me, it might be to me and my partner, it might be to me and the other neighbors that I know. And these all feel very comforting to me. Certainly because I'm thinking a lot of my upbringing, and this is very important to my upbringing. I come from a long line of farmers and teachers, so utility is critical on the farm and in the classroom. So growing up with these values, of course, I carry them over, and not knowing what to do with a physical resource or a parcel of time in my upbringing and in my professional work is wasteful. And so uncertainty equals waste. And I've never said that out loud before, but I'm just checking with all of the various times in my life and belief systems that I've been conditioned into, and uncertainty equals waste has come up a lot. And maybe to add some nuance there, it's not necessarily that it's a sure waste, but it is so much more likely that I will waste a block of tofu that I don't know what I'm gonna cook with it. Like, and even knowing that I could just like take the block of tofu and put it in my face and therefore eat it and not waste it is an option, but I don't like that. Yeah. This is news to me, so.
Okay. This is the case for my microphone, okay?
Okay.
And this is my cell phone.
Okay.
Is this big or small?
Small?
So that means in comparison, this is big, right?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so my cell phone's big. This is my notebook. This is my phone.
Uh-huh.
So, is the phone big?
The phone is now small.
Now small.
Yes.
But, same phone. I didn't magically make it bigger, right?
Yes, this happens to me at the gym a lot when the weight that I could be lifting is bigger. So I am content with the weight that I am choosing to lift.
So, yeah, like lifting 60 pounds for a frail man like me is a great feat.
Really?
But, like 60 pounds for Arnold Schwarzenegger is like nothing, right? Okay, but it's the same 60 pounds.
Yes.
We can only ascribe a certain quality to something via context. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So, uncertainty is a waste when you look at it from a certain context.
Okay.
The thing is this comparison more valid than this comparison?
No?
Is this comparison more valid than this comparison, my face?
No, unless I know the context.
So, all contexts have equivalent weight in that they are all meaningless.
Yes.
Okay, so my pinky nail is bigger than my wife's, but smaller than another person's. But like, do all these comparisons, do each of these individual comparisons have any actual like substantial weight behind it?
Absent of context, no.
No,
But
right?
in context, it might.
Okay, great. Now, we theoretically know that, oh yes, in certain contexts it's more important. Okay, that part is good. But when I tell you farmers suck. So the thing is, in certain context, and that context is also weightless and meaningless, in certain contexts, farmers do suck a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm a Korean guy. So, what do all Koreans have ingrained in their DNA in general? Hatred for, like, Japan, right? So when somebody is like, oh yeah, that little island between Korea and Japan, like, oh yeah, it's in the Sea of Japan, right? All Koreans instantly go into a fit of rage.
So mad. Yeah.
Right.
But the thing is, in certain contexts, it is Sea of Japan, right?
Oh, I see.
But
Mhm.
in certain contexts, it's also the East Sea, right?
Yes.
But to a French person, ooh, to them, it's Sea of to them, it's Sea of Japan. So it's like when you're detached from it, you can see that these are all different opinions. But when you're in them, it's completely different because you're so invested into it,
Mhm.
right? So, like, theoretically, these are supposed to be all weightless and meaningless, and we're all able to appreciate it from its different, like, viewpoint. Like, is a white flower better than a violet flower? But is a yellow flower better than a, hibiscus? Is our hibiscuses inherently better than, like roses? Are roses inherently more beautiful than tulips? No, but they all make a beautiful flower garden, right? But we can't seem to do that with what's in here because of a very base human tendency of needing to be right.
Mhm.
So, what this means is, in order for you to be okay with certainty, you have to be wasteful at times.
Mm.
And this sucks,
It does.
right? So, can I offer a reframe or 10? Sure. Can I give you different perspectives about how it's not a waste? Sure. I'm being sarcastic for a reason. Like, I could do that. I could give you different perspectives to help you see, no, it's not a waste.
You know,
Yes, but we would still force the binary of wasteful, not wasteful, as opposed to expanding into the possibility of, and also I am sometimes wasteful. And this is also okay because contextually the weight is even or the difference is negligible.
Exactly. Right?
Yes.
So-
I say this when I am in negotiations with, part of my coaching work is dealing with very, very tender and sometimes far-reaching politically conversations. And I say that, to my clients that they need to walk into a conversation knowing that they will be the villain in someone's story. And that this is okay because they're shitty sometimes and they're assholes sometimes. And to deny so is to be self-limiting, and that's not aligned with any of their values. They see themselves, my clients typically see themselves as very spacious, accepting. There's value in every person. And so when I look at my own situation and I go, oh, sometimes I am the villain, sometimes I am the asshole, and sometimes I am an uncertain, wasteful so and so. Like, oh, this too is as valuable as being efficient and sure.
Yes. Now, on that, I would like to add one more layer, okay?
Mm.
And that layer is time. So, what is currently waste? What could be more wasteful than poop? It's like literally waste. Okay, we can't do this anymore, but in Korea in the olden days, poop was so precious. Why? Because it was fertilizer.
Yeah.
So we would be in olden Korea, we would be playing at our friend's house, but we want to poop, we have to go home to poop.
Why?
The resource.
Yeah, it's precious, right? We don't want to give our precious, fertilizer to other people for free. So that was like the driving culture behind that. Now we can't do it because we eat so many preservatives, like it can't fertilize, right? Kind of sad. But now, why I'm telling you this is, okay, poop. At that moment of excretion is literal waste. But over time, it fertilizes, right? So, something, again, when I just presented it to you, the phone was big. But over time, as I presented this other evidence, it became small, right? Okay. So, number one, like you have established to yourself, it's okay to be wasteful. But the thing is, wasteful is a snapshot
Of your time.
So you look at the most glorious, wonderful figure skating routine, okay? And figure skating is so elegant and beautiful, right? It's got like spins and it's got these like, it's so magical,
Right?
Yeah.
But when you look at a freeze frame of it, it's like,
Right?
So good.
right? Like,
I've taken photos of my dog running on the beach, and it's so majestic and beautiful in video, but the freeze frame is like his lips are like this.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah. Same thing,
That's
right?
amazing.
ballet is like the epitome of grace, right?
Like
Oh,
ballet.
it's terrible. I
Yeah,
did
but-
ballet. It's
Yeah.
awful.
Freeze frame of ballet is like absolutely ridiculous.
The landing looks terrible.
So, waste. Number one, you are allowed to be wasteful. It's okay. But number two, waste is a snapshot because every context is a snapshot. So right now, Koreans and Japanese people argue about East Sea, Sea of Japan. But did they argue about it 1,000 years ago? No. 1,000 years ago, they were arguing over something else.
It's-
And who knows, maybe in the next 1,000 years, this won't even be a thing, right? Like Germany doesn't fight about Holy Roman Empire. It's long ages ago, right? So basically, some people still hold grudges, right? Like Korean people, we still hold grudges, even though time has passed, even though we're not occupied by Japan anymore. We think as if we're constantly reliving that karma, right? Okay, but that's a natural thing that humans do. It's a mentality thing, and it's the perpetuating loop of the suffering. But the important thing is everything is contextual to time. So what could be wasteful today can be the most valuable time into the future. But also, what is so meaningful to you today can also turn out to be a giant waste in the future as well, right? Like a lot of people who were displaced by AI. They used to be really valuable people in the workplace, right? But now they're effectively worthless.
I think of typewriter repair people and how essential they were to the workforce.
Yeah.
And suddenly, with the modern word processor, no longer. What had been a respectable and highly skilled profession. So I think about this in context of waste. Like I can only make the best decision. I can only make the best decision for utility, certainty given the context that I am aware of. And who knows whether this is a good or bad thing in an expanded context in time.
Yes.
So uncertainty is inevitable. And so is the choice then to be content in the moment while also holding my awareness to my desire?
So I want to go back to you knowing what you're gonna cook in the fridge. You consider that scenario to be like the epitome of certainty.
Yes.
But gas stove might not turn on,
Uh-huh.
right? There might be a part of your food that's gone bad.
Mm-hmm.
You may have a whoopsie while you're, cutting down, while you're chopping vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
You may drop your utensil. The fridge may have turned out of power and you may not have known about it. You see, everything, like, certainty lives inside of uncertainty, and uncertainty lives inside of certainty.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite example of this: a room full of balloons. And I can't fit anything more inside of it because it's so full of balloons, okay? Is it the room full?
Oh. It depends on what you want to put in it.
Right. So, room seems full because we can't put anything into it, but also balloons are just full of air. So it's like the room doesn't have anything. So depending on how you look at it, it's the same room full of balloons.
Mm-hmm.
It's both empty and full, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in your case, certainty is uncertainty. Uncertainty is certainty.
Mm.
But your mind is artificially drawing a line between them and insisting upon it. So, again, the goal, so what do we do with this information, right? Ultimately, we have to realize that why you will continue to feel the wave of uncertainty. But it's like you set up 10,000 alarm clocks to warn you about uncertainty over your entire lifetime, right? So is it realistic for you to expect that it's going to completely cease in the, like just in the spur of the moment? It won't, right? You will get echoes of, oh no, this is uncertain. Oh no, this is uncertain. You will get echoes of that thought. But now you see that that's what it is. It's an echo. It's an echo of how you used to think in the past. If you have a dream about your high school, you don't dress up and wait for the school bus, right?
Right.
You realize that this is an echo of the life that had happened.
Because my subjective experience over time has shifted my material context to change the significance and the relative size of what had been different. So to be honest in the moment is to acknowledge these echoes as what they are.
Exactly.
Even as I may catch myself in behaviors that befit the past context.
Yes.
And go, I am behaving as a result of an echo of a context that is not present. Because I can create, my subjective experience can be in constructed reality. So the judgments that I have of myself may adhere to a reality that is no longer present. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this too is okay.
Yeah.
And when I don't want to think it anymore, I have another option.
So this is why I asked you about what do you want to do with the free energy now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that is going to be the anchor of when you find yourself, oh, wait, whoa, I was stuck in the echo. Okay, but now that I'm aware, let's do the thing that I designed to do. So, for example, I'm in meditation. And the entire point of meditation is to focus my sensation on the breath, right? And then I and then I start thinking about K-pop.
And then
When I don't realize it, I'm inside of it, right? But, oh crap. I just realized, oh crap, I've been drifting away in K-pop. So, but what am I doing right now? Right, I'm meditating. So I come back, right? And then, oh my god, my back hurts and I lost circulation to my leg, and oh my god, oh, I'm sweating now because it's like so hot. Oh, wait. And then, oh man, what am I gonna cook for my wife today? Oh, she had like chicken soup yesterday, so maybe I should make. Oh, wait. Right? So meditation, yoga is all about, oh my god, everything hurts so much. Oh, going from that to, right? Like, what am I doing right now? What asana am I doing right now? Just coming back to the asana, regardless of what your mind is, that's basically it, right? So, why it's so important to think about what am I going to do with this energy? Okay. Oh, I just realized I've been expending my energy into uncertainty, like worrying about uncertainty, and I've been overworking. But now that I realize this, what will you orient back to? And that's a question that, is a little underdefined right now because we haven't even considered that possibility, right?
Yeah. This actually sounds like a very fun conversation to have with myself because I sense that it'll take some digging in what do I want to do with this time? What do I want to do with this energy and attention?
Yeah.
And I hadn't like in what way will I, like the smoking example, like how else would a person who takes a smoke break because they want time alone for themselves get time alone for themselves? And if they can't get that time alone for themselves, then they might as well keep smoking. Like, so if I don't know what else I would like to do, then I might as well keep doing this habit.
Exactly.
So just giving myself an option is so simple and so clear. It feels a little silly to have not realized this, but it also feels very natural. Like, of course, how could I have realized this?
Yeah, exactly. We are a looping machine of karma. So unless mindfulness comes in and like gets me to realize that I'm doing this, oh wait, why am I doing this?
Right?
But if I've been doing this all my life, what am I likely to do when I let go of this hand?
Right?
Yes.
So it's about understanding our natural disposition to things so that we learn how to work with it. Instead of trying to, no, you're gonna fucking stop, you stupid fucking hand. It's not. Oh, wait, you have a natural tendency to want to do this. Oh, okay. So what if today we just worked on slowing it down a little bit. And we slowed down, like, what's the frustration that comes up? Oh, I feel frustrated because I feel like I should be going faster. But do I need to be going faster? Why do I have that belief in me? Huh. Maybe it's because when I, got faster and faster compared to my sister, like, I was praised by my mom. Huh, okay. So, do you still care about the validation of your mom in comparison to your sister? No, I'm a fucking grown-ass man. Oh,
Okay.
we can consider that going into the future, right?
Mm.
it's about understanding ourselves so much better so that we can befriend we can really get closer to the past me who is stuck in that snapshot.
Very useful.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll conclude the recording here, but let's chat for a little bit. But
Thank you
hope
so much,
that
Billy.
was enjoyable. Okay. All right. YouTube. See you in the next video. Bye bye.